What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're doing some Madden 19 news. I guess Madden 19 roster just came out, and today we're going to be focusing on the New York Giants, and this is going to be uploaded on both my sports and gaming channel. A little disclaimer for you guys there. So those of you guys on my sports channel right now, I'm going to be doing a top 5 players in every position for Madden 19, so you guys go ahead and check that out and make sure you subscribe as well. But for right now, this video will be both uploaded to my sports and gaming channel. So I'm going to have some Madden in the background, I guess. I'll just find some kind of gameplay. Maybe I'll just play a game real quick, and then we'll throw it on there. Then I'm going to throw some names out there with their ratings as well, and a little graphic. So we're going to start off with Eli Manning in the quarterbacks. Eli Manning getting a 76 overall. Now, I do not see any other stats besides their overalls. Maybe I will put a picture if I do find any of their different stats, like their more specific stats. Maybe I'll throw that in there with some pictures as well if I find that. But as of right now, I'm going off of 247sports.com. They've got all the overalls there for every just, you know, most of everybody on the Giants right now. The important guys, and a little bit of the backups and stuff like that. I don't think they have everybody, but we'll see. Anyway, we've got Eli Manning coming in at 76 overall. This has to be his lowest overall ever as an NFL player. And is it deserving? I don't think so. I think it should at least be an 80. I don't think 76 is very deserving. You got guys like, Joe Flacco at a 79. I don't think Eli Manning is very far off from Joe Flacco, if you ask me. If not, they can be very similar. But Eli Manning getting a 76 overall rating. I guess, with how the Giants have been, we've been in a slow decline lately. Well, a very quick decline, but we've been there for quite a while. So, I could see why Eli Manning is falling down. I hope, he doesn't really care. I'm pretty sure he doesn't care about Madden ratings and stuff like that. But I just hope he plays better, so us Giants fans can enjoy playing with Eli Manning in Connected Franchise, or it be in Play Now, or whatever it is. Because I just can't stand using the Giants, because they make Eli just throw terrible balls when I play with the Giants. So I always have to use a different team. But you got Kyle Lauletta at 71. You notice how he's over Davis Webb at a 68, which is kind of interesting, being that he is a rookie, and Davis Webb, was drafted higher than Kyle Lauletta. But like I said, I am a Lauletta fan. I'm a fan of both Webb and Lauletta, but I just feel like Lauletta could be a better quarterback in the league. I don't know. Webb, it says here that Webb took all second-team reps in spring practices, so OTAs and things like that. So he took 100% of the time he was second team, and Kyle Lauletta was the third team. So when it comes to that may not be as accurate, but I'm sure these Madden guys aren't looking into everything. They're just going off of their gut, in my opinion, I guess. So Kyle Lauletta at 71 with Davis Webb at 68. It doesn't say anything about Alex Tanney, not that I really care, but we're just gonna go over the main guys. Halfbacks, we've got Jonathan Stewart at number 1, deservingly so, being that we can't give Saquon Barkley we can't make him a 90 overall just yet. I think 82 is pretty fair. Jonathan Stewart clocks in at 83. Do I believe it's a little high for Jonathan Stewart? Yes, because I don't think he's I guess he's a starter material still, but I just don't think he's that good. I guess Saquon, if you want to put Saquon at an 80 and put Jonathan Stewart at 81 or something like that, maybe that'll be all right. But I do think Saquon Barkley at 82 is fair. I just don't know about Jonathan Stewart at 83. But we'll see. And Wayne Gallman, I don't think he deserves. I know he didn't play much in the NFL yet. He hasn't been a starter yet. I think he started 1 game. But Wayne Gallman, I think, deserves more than a 74 rating. I think he deserves at least maybe a 76, 77. I think he showed a lot of promise last year in his rookie year, and showed a lot of flashes of being a very good kind of scat back for the Giants, kind of receiving back. Can run the ball in between the tackles, outside, and catch the ball. Had a couple touchdowns catching the ball. So, I think Wayne Gallman definitely deserves a little bit more credit. But 74, I mean, we'll just have to deal with it. Fullbacks, we got Shane Smith at a 65, being that he barely played last year with the Giants. It was mostly I believe he got cut. He made the 53 roster in the beginning. I believe he got cut or he got injured, one of those two. But Rhett Ellison wound up taking up those duties as fullback whenever we needed one. Now we move on to the wide receivers, and Odell Beckham clocks in at 95. I don't know where that ranks in the wide receiver rankings, but that will be in my top 5 players at every position. Go ahead and check that out. Maybe I'll do it offense and defense, but go ahead and check that out, see where he ranks there. But Odell Beckham 95 overall. We got Sterling Shepard at 82. I think it's pretty fair. I think it's fairer than last year. I believe they got Sterling Shepard at like a 78, 77, somewhere around that range last year. I wasn't very happy about that. But I definitely think Sterling Shepard at least earns about an 84, I'd say. You know, not too high, not too low, and he has some injury problems, yes, but I mean, the guy played like what 10 games last year and had like 722 yards, something like that. I mean, he had a monster season, just nobody thought about it. Quickly becoming one of the best slot receivers in the NFL, if not maybe top 3. That's seriously my opinion, but and I think it could be factual, but you know, trying to stay unbiased here. So we got Cody Latimer coming in at 72 and Roger Lewis as well. I think it's pretty fair. I know Cody Latimer has some expectations, and when it comes to Madden, when he translates to Madden, it's pretty fair. He barely gets to play with the Broncos. He comes in and he's asked to be our number 3 wide receiver. It's just not going to go that easily, that quick. So Cody Latimer at 72. I know he's our 3rd receiver and it should be higher, but it's fair for the most part. So I'm gonna stick with that. Roger Lewis at 72 as well. Russell Shepard at 72. Travis Rudolph at 69, just like last year. Khalif Raymond at 66. Hunter Sharp at 64. Amba Edetawo at 61, and Marquise Bundy at 60. Not that you guys pretty much care about that, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. Here we go. We've got Evan Ingram at an 85 already. You guys know that Evan Ingram was just one of the lone highlights of last year in our treacherous 3-13 season. Evan Ingram coming in as a rookie from Ole Miss. I mean, a lot of people didn't like that he was drafted that high at 23 in the first round. You know, someone like me, but definitely showed out last season. I know it's in part because of Odell Beckham's injury, so the Giants really had no other target to go to but Evan Ingram. I mean, who was really on the field at that point? Sterling Shepard was out. A lot of the time Odell Beckham was out, and so you had guys out there like, you know, all these clowns out there. So Evan Ingram was really pretty much your only option, but he still had a phenomenal season, had over 700 yards, played I think all 16 games. Is quickly rising as one of the best tight ends in the league in my opinion. I think that's definitely, you can't argue that whatsoever, and they're giving him love here, giving him an 85 right off the bat, and I think that's well deserved, and I'm completely happy with that. I'm not going to push any more than that. 85 is more than I expected in my opinion. But Rhett Ellison coming in at 77. I believe he was like a 79, 80 last year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Rhett Ellison getting a 77, actually pretty, I don't know, I guess it's not really deservingly so. Rhett Ellison barely gets to play with us. He really just provides a blocking tight end material, so I don't know if that 77 is really worth it, but it's all right. Gerald Adams at a 75, fair enough. Ryan O'Malley at a 66. Kyle Carter 63, and Zach Diossi, just like every year, is a 52. Zach Diossi plays long snapper for us, so you won't see him as a tight end competing with us in real life and in Madden. Nate Solder, it's been released earlier this season that he was at an 81, but I'm seeing here that he's at an 83. I think this is complete garbage. I think Nate Solder, I don't know if he was injured last year, correct me if I'm wrong, but Nate Solder is one of the best left tackles in the league. He's the highest paid offensive lineman in the league. I don't believe he deserves an 83 overall. I think he deserves, if you want to go low, if you want to low ball Nate Solder, if you just want to hate on him, I'd say 86 if you really want to go that far, or an 85. That's probably the lowest I would go. But someone that's your franchise left tackle, I'm not putting him as an 83. That's just disrespectful. So anyway, we now move on to Chad Wheeler at left tackle at a 67. Nick Gates at a 59. Like I said, I'm not a big fan about Nick Gates, so he won't be on the Giants for much long. Here's my guy, Will Hernandez, drafted in the 2nd round, and he was put up as high as a 78. I think that's well deserved, and I'm absolutely not complaining about that. Will Hernandez, very highly regarded in the NFL coming out of college, so I believe EA respected that and brought him up to a 78. I completely appreciate that. Finally, we get some O-line help. I hope our O-line is pretty good in Madden, because I can't stand using them in Madden. I can't stand using the Giants in Madden. That's just, it is what it is at that point. Giants fans know you just don't like using the Giants in Madden. Alright, Patrick Omameh at a 70, which is weird. He's projected to be one of our starters. It says he's under left guard here. And then our starter right guard being John Jerry, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Patrick Omameh is going to be our starter at right guard, but he's here listed as a left guard at a 70 overall. We now move on to Ethan Cooper. He's 64, yada yada. Brett Jones here at a 72 overall. I get he didn't get much playing time, but Jesus, he's played better than Weston Richburg in his time out. He filled in for Weston Richburg most of the year. So I would think Brett Jones would be a little higher than that, but at least a 75, 76 if you want to go there. But Brett Jones at 72 doesn't seem that fair. But John Jalapeno at 62. Right guard, John Jerry at 77. John Greco, 70. Christian Sokoli, 66. We now move on to Eric Flowers at a 69. He's our starter at 69 overall. If you guys are playing Connected Franchise with the Giants, I suggest, if you guys are playing before the season and then you don't get those weekly updates during the actual NFL season, I suggest you go ahead and cut Eric Flowers or try to trade him. Get yourself a better right tackle than that, because whoever's gonna be on the left defensive end side is gonna completely demolish your right tackle, completely demolish Eric Flowers 100% of the time. So these left ends and right ends at defensive end are interchangeable. It's not like how it is in the old days where the left guy, the guy on the besides the guy across from the left tackle is the best guy. Not the case anymore. You guys know Von Miller lines up on the right tackle side, so as a linebacker. So we now move on to right defensive ends. This is kind of weird because the Giants scheme is very weird, and it's not going to be in Madden. They're very generic in their position. It's 3-4. You're either a 3-4 defensive end or you're a defensive tackle. That's just how it works. Or you're a linebacker. The Giants defensive scheme is very confusing and will not be part of that generic position placement that Madden runs. They run a right defensive end, left defensive end kind of thing. They don't do strong side, they don't do weak side at linebacker. They do left and right. So it messes with the rosters a little bit. If you want the most realistic experience possible, you're gonna have to change a lot of things up when it comes to the defensive side of the ball for the front seven when it comes to the New York Giants. So if you want a realistic experience out of that, if you want realistic stats, if you want realistic position placement, you're gonna have to do a lot of changing and stuff like that. We'll see if we do that when Madden 19 comes out. But they got Dalvin Thompson as right defensive end. Technically, that's not true. He's still gonna be in the 3 technique. He's not gonna be playing the 5. So when you do use Dalvin Thompson and when you do play as the Giants with the Giants in Madden 19, you're probably gonna see Dalvin Thompson in the 5 technique a couple times. That's just because of the generic positional placement that Madden and EA run. So it is what it is at that point. You're just gonna have to do a lot of changing. So Dalvin Thompson at 82, I think that's very fair. He had an outstanding rookie performance, and I think that's very fair for Dalvin Thompson, someone that's not a very big name. I think 82 is very deserving. So Josh Morrow is at a 72, Jordan Williams at 63, and Josh Chavis, which I think they mean Tyrell Chavis. I don't think his name is Josh. I think his name is Tyrell Chavis at a 60, so that's a typo there. Defensive tackles, you got Damon Snacks Harrison as the #1 defensive tackle in the league. This is coming from a guy that has not made a Pro Bowl yet. Is a 95 overall. I think this is finally EA is doing something right. Damon Harrison is very deserved of being a up there as one of the best defensive tackles in the league, and to be number 1, that's very exciting as a Giants fan. Damon Snacks Harrison, 95, number 1 defensive tackle in the NFL. I know Aaron Donald, I think now is listed as a defensive end, and he's a 99 overall, so I don't think he's listed as a defensive tackle anymore, being that, the 3-4 scheme with the Rams. Now he's a 3-4 defensive end. These Madden generic positional placements, so it is what it is at that point. RJ McIntosh, our 5th round pick, 67. Josh Thomas at 67. Left defensive end, we got Kerry Wynn at left defensive end, we got Kerry Wynn at 71. BJ Hill at 70 and AJ Francis at 66. I'm pretty much going to change, even though there's only a 1 overall difference. I'm going to put BJ Hill at 70 overall as the starter, because that's just more realistic. BJ Hill has been announced as the starter. So right outside linebackers, we got Olivier Vernon, falling from an 85 or 86 he was at Madden 18. Now he's at 82 overall, very deservingly so. Olivier Vernon has overwhelmed when it comes to playing on the Giants. And I think he was just overhyped in total. I mean, he didn't really do much with Miami, and here he is making $17 million a year. Not deserving of what he's been producing on the field the past 2 years. So 82 is well deserved. Lorenzo Carter at 72. He's a 3rd round pick, and he went in the 3rd round, so it's fair enough. Romeo Akwara at 64. I don't think that's very fair. I believe he was in the 70s last year, because he did play well in his time playing when JPP was out. But Romeo Akwara 64, I don't really like too much. I think at least bring him to like a 70, somewhere in the 70s. Alec Ogletree at a 74, I guess. I mean, if you want to. I know he didn't have a spectacular season with the Rams last year, but 74 just seems a little low in my opinion. Not coming from a biased place, I just think that's a little low. Even if he was still with the Rams, I would say 74 is a little too low. But BJ Goodson at 72, I think that's just right. He has a lot of injury problems and has a lot of potential. He just can't figure it out because of his injuries. So 72 is fine with me. Mark Hertzlick, 69. I mean, why is this guy still in the league? I don't know why. Ray Armstrong, 68. Calvin Munson, 62. I have no complaints there about any of those other rankings there. Kareem Martin at left outside linebacker at 72. He's been announced as a defensive end now, so I don't know what Madden is doing. But Avery Moss at 68, our 5th round pick last year, I believe. 6th round pick? 5th round pick. Janoris Jenkins moving up from an 86 to an 88. I think that's very fair. I think he's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. I know he hasn't been getting much attention lately because of how the Giants' defense has been falling apart, including Eli Apple and that whole defensive breakdown. They went from NYPD to just trash. So there's that. And it really gets sad from here on out, guys. It really does. The Giants went from one of the best cornerback cores to play with in Madden to one of the saddest. And that's factual right there. Eli Apple at 74, and he's the number 2 cornerback. William Gay at 73. Dante Dion at 70. B.W. Webb at 70. Chris Lewis Harris, 68. Grant Haley, 66. Teddy Williams, 66. Our strong safeties, we got Landon Collins at an 88. And how disrespectful is Landon Collins at an 88? If you ask me, Landon Collins is far better at his position and far better up there at his position when it comes to overall rankings in the NFL than Janoris Jenkins is. I think Janoris Jenkins is a top 6, top 7 cornerback in the league. I think Landon Collins is top 3, if not the best safety in the league, and he's getting an 88 overall ranking. I think that's ridiculous. I think last year he got like a 92. It needs to stay that way. I think if he wants to go down a little bit more. I know he hasn't had the best season. He's gotten mossed a couple times last season. He's got burnt a couple times last season. But I think he should at least be a 90. No farther than, an 89. No, that's not even, that makes no difference. I think a 90, really deservingly so. But 88 is disrespectful in my opinion. If he pays attention to Madden, if he does, I hope he fights for that 90 spot. Michael Thomas at 72. Orion Stewart at 64. No complaints there. Darian Thompson at 71. Andrew Adams at 70, which is weird because he was like a 79 last year, but okay. Curtis Riley switching to safety, going to 65. and then Sean Chandler at 62. And then we move on to our kicker and our punter. We got Aldrick Rosas and Riley Dixon respectively at 75. So those are the rankings. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I know this is a little long video, but we are going through all the positions right now, and you guys let me know how EA really looked at the Giants, if you think it was a well-deserved ranking. And I believe overall they're like a 77 or 76 New York Giants team. I believe that's the same thing as last year, so I mean, not really much any complaints about that. So go ahead and leave a like on this video. If you're new, subscribe, whether this be my sports channel or the gaming channel, and make sure you stay tuned for the gaming channel and for the next video. So with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, okay, I get it, man, say less. When you start talking and pray less. I'm not doing good, I'm a straight mess, but God doing way more with way less. Yeah, we off to the races. Yeah, I put a rapper in a place quick. Yeah, good is the enemy of greatness. I just work, girl, in my spaceship.